Hi, it's Stefania over at Sleep Stories and Classic Fairy Tales for Kids, and we're back with the next part of Uncle Wiggily's adventures. This time, the story is about Uncle Wiggily and the dog. When we last left Uncle Wiggily, the bunny was saved from drowning. But now, Uncle Wiggily is moving on. Uncle Wiggily and the dog. Uncle Wiggily's rheumatism was quite bad after he got wet in the fountain, as I told you in the other story, when he thanked the mama catbird and her kitten birds for saving him. He found that he could hardly walk, much less carry his heavy case. "Oh, we'll help you," said Mrs. Catbird. "Here, Flitter and Flutter, you carry the satchel for Uncle Wiggily, and we'll take him to our house." "But, Mama," said Flutter, who was getting to be quite a big bird boy, "Uncle Wiggily can't climb up a tree to our nest." "No, but we can make him a nice warm bed on the ground," said the Mama Bird. "So you and Flitter carry the case, put a long blade of grass through the handle, and then each of you take hold of one end of the glass with your bills and fly away with it. Skimmer, you and Darty go on ahead and get something ready to eat, and I'll show Uncle Wiggily the way." So, Flitter and Flutter, the two bird boys, flew away with the case, and Simmer and Darty, the girl birds, flew on ahead to set the table and put the tea kettle on the stove to boil. And Mrs. Catbird flew slowly on over Uncle Wiggily to show him the way. Well, pretty soon, not so very long, they came to where the birds lived. And those good children had already started to make a nest on the ground for the old gentleman rabbit. They almost had it finished, and by the time supper was ready, it was all done. Then came the meal, and those birds couldn't do enough for Uncle Wiggily because they liked him so much. When it got dark, they covered him all up with soft leaves in the nest on the ground, and there he slept till morning. His rheumatism wasn't quite so bad when, after breakfast, he had sat out in the warm sun for a while, and after a bit he said, "Well, I think I'll travel along now and see if I can find my fortune today. Perhaps I may, and if I do, I'll come back and bring you some more peanuts." "Oh, that'll be fine and dandy," cried Flitter and Flutter and Skimmer and Darty. So they said goodbye to the old gentleman rabbit, and once more he started off. "My, I'm certainly getting to be a great traveler," he thought as he walked along through the woods and over the fields. "But I don't ever seem to get to any place. Something always happens to me. I hope everything goes nicely today." But you just wait and see what takes place. I'm afraid something is going to happen very shortly. But it's not my fault, and all I can do is tell you exactly all about it. Wait. Oh, there. It's beginning to happen now. All of a sudden, as Uncle Wiggily was traveling along, he came to a place in the woods where a whole lot of gypsies had their wagons and tents. And on one sign, there was a sign on the tent, which read, "Fortunes told here." "Huh! If they tell fortunes in that tent, perhaps the lady can tell me where to find mine," thought Uncle Wiggily. "I'll go up and ask her." Well, he was just going to do that when he happened to think that perhaps the woman wouldn't understand rabbit talk. So he sat there in the bushes thinking what he had better do, when all at once, before he could wiggle his ears more than 4 times, a great, big, bad, ugly dog sprang at him, barking oh so loudly. "Come on, Bowser!" cried this dog to another one. "Here's a fat rabbit that we can catch for dinner. Come on, let's chase him." Well, you can just imagine how frightened Uncle Wiggily was. He didn't sit there waiting for the dog to catch him either. No, indeed. Up jumped Uncle Wiggily with his crutch and his case, and he hopped as hard and fast as he could. My, how his legs did twist in and out. "Come on, come," barked the first dog to the second one. I'm coming, woof, woof, boo, woo, 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 woo," barked the second dog. Poor Uncle Wiggily's heart beat faster and faster, and he didn't know which way to run. Every way he turned, the dogs were after him, and soon more of the savage animals came to join the first two, until all of the dogs were chasing the poor gentleman rabbit. "I guess I'll have to drop my satchel and my crutch," thought Uncle Wiggily. "I can't carry them much further. Still, I don't want to lose them." So he held on to them a little longer, took a big breath, and ran on some more. He thought he saw a chance to escape by running in front of the fortune-telling tent. He started that way, but a man with a gun saw him and fired at him. I'm glad to say he didn't shoot Uncle Wiggily, or else I couldn't tell any more stories about him. Uncle Wiggily is always safe, boys and girls. Uncle Wiggily got safely past the tent, but the dogs were almost up to him now. One of them was just about to catch him by his left hind leg when one of the men cried out, "Grab him, Biter, grab him! We'll have rabbit pot pie for dinner, that's what we'll have." Oh, wasn't that a perfectly dreadful way to talk about our Uncle Wiggily? But just wait, if you please. Biter, the big bad dog, was just going to grab the rabbit when all of a sudden Uncle Wiggily saw a big hole in the ground. "That's what I'm looking for," he exclaimed. "I'm going down there and hide away from these dogs." So into the hole he popped, case, crutch, and all. And oh, how glad he was to get into the cool, quiet darkness, leaving those savage barking dogs outside. But wait a minute longer, if you please. Biter and Browser stopped short at the hole. "He's gone, gotten plain clean." "Wait," exclaimed Browser. "Isn't that too bad?" "No, we'll get him yet," cried Biter. "Here, you watch at this hole while I go get a pail of water. We'll pour the water down under the ground where the rabbit is, and that will make him come out, and we'll eat him." "Good!" cried Browser. So while he stood there and waited, Biter went for the water. But, mind you, Uncle Wiggily had sharp ears, and he heard what they were saying. And what do you think he did? Why, with his sharp claws, he went right to work. He dug and dug and dug in the back part of that underground place until he made another hole, far off from the first one. And he crawled out of that with his crutch and his case, just as Biter was pouring water down the first hole. "Pah! I think this will astonish those dogs," thought Uncle Wiggily, and he took a peep at them from behind a bush where they couldn't see him. And then he hopped on through the woods to look for more adventures, leaving those silly dogs still pouring water. And what happened to him after that? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Very, very soon. Maybe I'll tell you in a few days instead of one whole week more. That story will be about Uncle Wiggily and the monkey. And that's all of our story for now. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with all the different stories and other things that we're going to be having. We're going to have a lot of fun. Don't you want to join? Be sure to subscribe so you can get notifications when new stories come out. And that's it for now. Stay well, be good, and see you again very soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye.